In this lesson, we're covering subtracting across zeros. So when you're subtracting numbers from a zero, how do we deal with that? Okay, so in this instance, we just have 0 minus 0 is 0, so that's no big deal. And here we cannot take 2 from 0, obviously, so we're going to borrow just like we would normally, and that is going to turn into a 0. And this is going to turn into a 10. So we're going to take that 1, make it a 10, or actually 100 because it's in the hundreds place, and do 100 minus 20, which is 80. So we have our 8 in our tens place, which is 80. Now we have a 0 again, and we have this 5 that we're trying to take from it. We cannot do that. So we're going to take from the 5 here, turn that into a 4,000, and give that 1,000 over here. So now we have 1,000 minus 500, which is 5, and 4 minus 3, which is 1. And then we can add up to check our work. 0 and 0 is 0, 8 and 2 is 10, carry the 1, we have 5 and 5 is 11, or 5 and 5 and 1 is 11, carry the 1, and we have 3, the carried 1, and one more for 5. Okay, so that one we did correct. Now, the next one, it's going to get a little bit more complicated because we're going to have some more zeros up in the top layer there. So let's try the next one. The next one we have 30,090 minus 22,977. Okay. Now with this one, we're going to make sure when we write out our problem that everything's lined up appropriately so we can solve it. We start with our 0 here and borrow from the 9, so we're going to change that and regroup it. And now we have 10 minus 7. 10 minus 7 we can do now, which is 3. We have 8 minus 7, which is 1, so we can do that. Now we get to a 0, and we look here, and it's like, oh no, we can't take from that because it's 0. So we have to go down one place value further. So we're going to take our 3 and turn it into a 2 and give this place a 10. So now we have a 10 here, so now we can take it for this place value. So we have 10,000 in our thousands place. We're going to cross that out and turn it into a 9,000, and then give this one of the thousands into the hundreds place. So now we have 1,000 in the hundreds place. So we have 1,000 minus 900 is 1. Okay. Or 10 minus 9 is 1. But it's in the hundreds place, so we're going to consider that 100. Now we have a 9 here. 9 minus 2 is 7, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So we end up with 7,113. Okay, and if we look at that, we can add up and make sure we did it all right. So 3 and 7 is 10. Carry the 1. 1, 2, and 7 is 9. So that works. We have 1 and 9 is 10. Carry the 1. We have 1 and 7 is 8 plus 2 more is 10. Carry the 1, and then we end up with our 3. So we did that one correctly. Okay. We'll do another one just to review that kind of same example of what do we do if there's a 0 and 2 zeros in a row. So we have 2003 minus 1,154. Okay. 2003 minus 1,154. So we're going to start from the beginning up. We can't take the 4 from the 3. So we want to go here, but there's nothing there to take, so we can't use it. And there's nothing there to take, so we can't use that either. So we're going to have to go all the way over to the thousands place value and take away from that thousands and make this a 1,000 in the hundreds. Okay. Then we need to cross that out. So we're going to make that a 9 and give this a 10. Okay. So we're just kind of backtracking. It's like, oh, my neighbor doesn't have anything to borrow, so I have to go to the next neighbor. Oh, the neighbor doesn't have anything to borrow, so I have to go to the next neighbor. Oh, that neighbor finally has something to borrow, so now it's going to have to trickle back down. Okay. So we got the 10, then we borrowed one more from there, and that turned into a 9. But this one still needs it, so this is going to turn into a 9 now, and this is going to turn into a 13, okay? So like I said, it's just going to trickle down like that. So now we have 13 minus 4 is 9. We have 9 minus 5 is 4. We have 9 minus 1 is 8, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So our answer is 849. And if we add up, we can make sure we did it. 9 and 4 is 13. 1, 4, and 5 is 10. Carry it over. 1, 8, and 1 is 10. Carry it over. And 1 and 1 is 2. I'll do one last example just because sometimes this concept is really difficult and it's nice to do it together. Also, if you want to use this one and pause the video, sometimes it's nice to see if you can do it on your own and then get the answer. So if you want to pause when I put up the problem, try it on your own, and then you can see the work. So this one's 8,000 minus 3,502. Okay. 8,000 minus 3,502. So if you'd like to pause the video, now's the time to pause. And here's the work. Okay, so again, we're in this situation where we need to borrow, but our neighbor doesn't have any and our other neighbor doesn't have any. So we have to go all the way over here to get some stuff for this neighbor to borrow. So we're going to take the 7 from here and make this 1,000 in the hundreds place. So we have 10 hundreds, which is 1,000. Now we'll be able to do that, but we got to keep moving back before we do any action. Okay. So we're going to cross out the 10, make it a 9, and borrow some here. Now we took one of our hundreds and moved it to our tens place. So now we have 100 in our tens place. But this one needs it. So we're going to cross out that 100. Keep 100. We're going to keep a 9 there for 90, and we're going to give a 10 over here. Now we have 10 minus 2. We can complete our problem. So we have 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 0 is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. And 7 minus 3 is 4. So we have 4,498. And again, I can always add up to check. So 8 and 2 is 10, carry your 1. 1 and 9 is 10, carry your 1. 1 and 4 and 5 is 10, carry your 1. And 4 and 3 and 1 is 8. So we did it right again. So that is how we subtract across zeros. How out?